Alright guys, let's talk about the Seiko Samurai. I've been looking for one of these for a while. I was actually initially drawn to the orange one that looks similar to the orange Seiko Monster, but then this special edition Save the Ocean one became available through another local watch enthusiast. This is actually the same gentleman that I got the Alpina Star Timer off of, and he does use it as a tool watch. There are some scratches on it, but overall it's held up really well. So I'll talk about what makes it special edition in a second, but I will inform you guys the dimensions of this watch are similar for most Seiko Samurais or Prospect watches. I measure this at just under 44 millimeters thick in case diameter. And if you flip to the side here from lug tip to lug tip, you're looking at 48 millimeters. The height of the watch is just a hair over 13 millimeters. And then the lug gap here for your bracelet, or in this case rubber strap, is going to be 22 millimeters. Now, what makes this stand out over the other Samurais is that this is one of their Save the Ocean models, which was released last year at Baselworld 2018. And you can get this as a Samurai. You can also pick it up as a Turtle, or I believe you can even pick it up as one of their diving chronographs. But some of the proceeds of the money does go to ocean conservation, from what I'm aware of, or ocean education. And then if you move on this dial, it's just gorgeous. What they did is they added some horizontal kind of asymmetrical lines to the dial that give it a really nice degree of dimension. And you can see actually how it mimics like if you were diving in the ocean, where it starts off light near the 12, and then as you move vertically down to the 6 o'clock, it becomes progressively darker and fades into black there, which is a really nice touch. The other nice touch about this watch is they added some black or PVD coating to the case, specifically to the bezel. You can see the surround there where the knurling is. And then to the crown as well, it's black, where you typically have just your normal stainless steel crown on the other Samurais. Now, it is similar in most other respects. The applied indices are similar to most Samurais you would find, and they're really nicely applied, heavily filled with loom, and the handset is very similar too. You have that very broad arrow hand for the hours, and then a sword style hand for the minutes. And then you have that second hand that also has a loomed filled triangle as it ticks around the chapter ring. Now, everything lines up really well on this special edition Samurai, which is nice to see. Sometimes you will find prospects, models from Seiko that have misaligned chapter rings and whatnot. And speaking of which, I'll bring in my Seiko Turtle here, because what I ended up doing is the Seiko Turtle originally came on this really nice black rubber strap, factory Seiko strap, and I actually swapped it out and put it on the Turtle, and I think it actually, Samurai. I think it suits the Samurai better because that black matches the black accents on the dial and on the PVD coated edges around the case. Now, it does also come on a factory Seiko bracelet, and again, when I purchased it, from that local enthusiast, it's been pretty scratched up, but it's your standard Seiko affair. It's a fold-over clasp with dual triggers to release. It has a dive extension, and then you can see the arrows to size the lengths of the bracelet with Seiko's pin and collar system. So it does wear nicely on the bracelet. It adds a lot of heft to it, but I personally really enjoy it on the Seiko rubber bracelet. And I found it wears really well and comfortable on this bracelet, and you can even dress it up pretty well as well. I'll actually throw you up a shot of my brother wearing my watch when he went to church with me, and it looks really nice. Now again, with the Seiko Prospects line, you're getting a Seiko in-house movement. This is the 4R35, I think. The bezel action is really nice. It's 120 click. Seiko does a really good job of making this just positive and tight enough with a minimal amount of backplay. And as I mentioned, everything lines up really well on this. Now I will bring the Turtle into frame here too, so you can see how they stack up side by side. I do think the Samurai wear slightly smaller because the Turtle has this cushion case that's just a little wider in dimensions. Both have really great loom, and I'll actually switch over and show you a head-to-head loom comparison as well, so you can see how they look under low light conditions. Okay guys, so I just hit the lights and I'm showing you a head-to-head comparison. I got my Seiko Save the Ocean Samurai on the right, and then for comparison I have my Seiko Turtle on the left. So both have very thickly applied Lumabrite in green, and both last all night, so you really can't complain either way. Okay, aside from that gorgeous dial, the finishing on this watch, it's pretty nice and similar to most Samurais. It's a very interesting case shape. You get these really thick flanks on the shoulder of the case that are really well brushed, but then you have this high polish center accent there. I do really enjoy the texture and knarling to the bezel of the Samurai over the Turtle. I just find it's easier to grip. You know, you do have really nice drilled lug holes, which makes swapping out for a bracelet or strap super easy. And then the crown is very easy to operate. It's knurled really well. It's obviously screwed around. You know, and with this movement, you can stop it by pulling it out all the way, and you hack the second hand, and then you can quickly adjust your time. And then in the first position, you got your quick date set function there. And screwing it in is very easy as well, very easy to operate. Let me show you the case back. So, I don't know if you can tell here, it does say it's a Seiko Special Edition, but it's got the Great Tsunami Wave and the Prospex logo, just like most other Seiko models that you have out there. Let me throw it on wrist so you guys can see how it wears. Okay guys, check out the Seiko Samurai Save the Ocean on my 7¼ inch wrist. I think it looks really nice. It's proportioned very well. And even though it's slightly heavy, it hugs your wrist in a way that I think only Seiko watches from their Prospex lineup can. So I really do appreciate this watch. Again, I'm just going to close out showing you the Seiko Save the Ocean on the right, and then I got the Turtle on the left as well. Both are great dive watches from Seiko. If I had to pick one, personally I'm leaning more towards the Save the Ocean model, just because of that gorgeous dial, honestly, but you can't go wrong with either watch. Definitely enjoy the Seiko Prospex lineup, and I'm continuing to collect pretty much all these guys. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I appreciate your feedback, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.